The prince, the horse, and the golden spirit. They are three good friends that have built a deep bond over the years, but their friendship is not as effortlessly as it looks. First of all, they are three different beings: a human, an animal, and a mystical spirit. Just thinking about this combination alone is already quite fascinating. The prince, trying really hard to be a good friend, only to find out that all of his friends befriend him just because of his status. The horse, incredibly loyal to a fault to his previous master, only to be abandoned because of financial difficulty. The golden spirit, mastering the skill of finding happiness and inner peace in solitude for too long until she thinks she no longer needs a friend. Somewhere along the way, they find love, friendship, and deep connections in each other. Let's take a look closer to what we can learn from their friendship. Don't fear being alone. As much as we humans are social beings, we are also an individual that each of us have totally and completely different thoughts and perceptions. While we are craving for social interactions, it's important to learn about how we interact with each other. We had been taught that it's not good to be alone, so we chase social interactions ever since we were a child. That's true, but we never got taught about how to have a healthy relationship growing up. And because of that, a lot of us end up feeling lonely even in the company of others. Take the prince for example. He had a lot of friends. Many people want to befriend him, and he was just a naive young prince, full of excitement in life, sharing everything to his friends. He thought all of his friends were on the same page with him, until one day he found out that all of his friends were talking behind his back about how they had been barely able to be his friend all this time. They had just obliged to befriend the crown prince by their family. After hearing that, the prince never felt so lonely in his entire life. What happened was, the prince never really took time to be alone. He was relying on other people to fill in his emotional needs. So he was just sharing everything with his friends, expecting them to validate all of his emotions. And he cannot even recognize that his friends were not genuine to him. Being able to be alone is actually an underrated skill that no one ever talks about. It teaches you that true happiness comes from within and is not dependent on others. And it will lead us to make more meaningful connections. What's in your cup? There is something that we need to do in time when we are alone. We need to acknowledging what kind of baggage we have from the past, knowing what's in our cup. Imagine you're holding a cup of water and someone bump into you and make you spill your water. If you're holding a cup of tea, you will spill your tea. If you're holding a cup of coffee, you will spill your coffee. Whatever is inside your cup is what will spill out. If you have been in a relationship, whether it's friendship or anything, going through life you will spill your cup more than once. It's inevitable. If you have negativity in your cup, you will most likely spill negativity to everyone around you. If you were wounded, you have wound in your cup, you will tend to hurt others too. What's in your cup? Is it wound? What wound? Is it anger from betrayal in the past? Is it low self-esteem because of rejection? Is it fear of abandonment? If you ask the horse, his cup filled with the fear of abandonment. The first time he met the prince and the golden spirit, he was so scared to befriend them. He had trust issues, a lot of anxiety and codependency. He wasn't able to trust anyone, but he needed them to make him feel good about himself. He would become suspicious of everyone's intentions, and he would be easily triggered when something or someone provoked his trauma. Until he healed his wound and trauma, he wouldn't be able to be his true self and enjoying the new friendship. Unlearning. The next step is to unlearn the way we have been doing relationships all this time. If we used to only care about sharing and venting our own things and ignoring other people's needs and concerns, after we learn what's in our cup, we can give ourselves love and compassion so we can show up as a healthy person and able to have a reciprocal relationship. If we used to let everyone do whatever they want to us, manipulate and disrespect us, maybe that's because we have fear of rejection, low self-esteem, or childhood conditioning that make us develop people-pleaser behavior. This is absolutely need to change. Relationship is supposed to be reciprocal. Sometimes we hear a saying that giving is way better than receiving. But the truth is, we need the balance of both giving and receiving to be mentally healthy in relationships. Being able to receive is such an underrated quality of showing love because some of us are very afraid to receive. We need to learn to treat others properly the way they want to be treated. And we have the same amount of right to ask others to treat us properly, the way we want to be treated. The horse needs to unlearn from being skeptical and learn to trust again. The prince needs to unlearn his one-way communication style and learn to listen to others as well. The golden spirit, who is expert at being alone, needs to learn to make friends, where she can share all wisdom she has from living for a long time already. Not everyone we lose is a loss. We must have experienced parting ways with someone in our lives. When that happened, maybe someone rejected us, left us, or we need to cut ties because the relationship was so toxic. At that time, it must be felt so hard, but that's what we need to grow and learn. We will know how much we grow when we are no longer resonate with those people anymore. Sometimes in toxic relationships, we couldn't aware of the toxicity. But after parting ways, we can finally see all the hurting treatments. Maybe they often talked down to us, ignored our emotional needs, or maybe they like to talk our personal story and share it to others without permission. When people around you do not make you feel good about yourself, always chipping at your peace and self-esteem, you need to evaluate your relationship again. One thing to remember is, if they haven't appreciated your presence while you were with them, they will not miss you when you're gone. Some of us get to learn from a bitter experience like this to finally realize that this whole time we have spent our precious energy into the relationship that made us suffer. When that happened, just remember it wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. That's what the Golden Spirit said to the prince and the horse. And so, they're all moving forward to the next chapter of their lives. We have a choice. We have two choices when it comes to relationship. We can choose how to show up in relationship, or we can choose people with whom we want to be in a relationship. From our three friends here, we learned that until we choose how to show up for ourselves, we cannot really choose the people that we want to be in a relationship. Because energy attracts like energy. If we have some dysfunctions, we are more likely will end up attract people with similar energy. So how do we choose to show up for ourselves in relationships? This requires clearing up what's in our cup first. Until we are aware of our upbringing and dysfunctions, only then we can stop the old pattern. Instead of being reactive to everything, we can now choose how we want to respond. The horse has dealt with his fear of abandonment. Now he can recognize people's intentions. If he hasn't, he would always be skeptical to everyone. And that energy will only attract people with bad intentions and repel people with good intentions. The prince has learned to have more compassion. He let go of his one-way communication energy, which only attracts hypocrite people who just want a surface-level relationship. And now, he's able to have deep relationship with kind-hearted people. The Golden Spirit has learned that there is more love in this world than she could ever imagine. Instead of reacting based on fear, distrust, hurt, or frustration, they are now behaving based on love, trust, authenticity, honesty, respect, and compassion. People will always change, and so do we. Who we are now is always different from who we were before. Our beliefs, behaviors, and understanding of the world will constantly change according to our experiences, people we met, and the knowledge we have acquired. Every day, we will always change and grow little by little. No matter how deep we think we know someone, they will continue to change. It's vice versa. No matter how deep someone knew you, you will always have some change in your beliefs and behaviors. Being in a commitment relationship doesn't mean we can stop getting to know the other person just because we think we already know them inside out. The horse, from being fragile and skeptical, become whole and able to trust again. Aside from his calm looks on the outside, who knows, now he's the light of the party among the three friends. The prince, from being unaware and distant, he's now the most compassionate person. He's so connected with his own emotions and he can understand other people easily. Even his wisdom, now comparable to the Golden Spirit. The Golden Spirit, who knows she will enjoy her new friendship a little bit too much. She always thought she didn't need one. We cannot be tied to only a certain identity forever. We are supposed to let people we love, including ourselves, evolve however they want to, as long as it's in our own respective values, like healing, self-improvement, kindness, equality, and compassion. We accept the love we think we deserve. We crave friendships or relationships for several reasons. We want a friend to share life with. We want emotional support. We want to reduce stress and increase happiness. We want to love and to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, and feeling important. We often listen a saying that says, "What you want other people to do to you, you have to do it first for them." But I think there is another way to do it. What you want other people to do to you, you have to do it first for yourself. You want other people being kind to you, you need to be kind to yourself first. You want other people to respect you, you need to respect yourself first. You want other people to love you, you need to love yourself first. There is no perfect relationship, but we only accept the love we think we deserve. The way we treat ourselves will set a standard for how people treat us. Don't measure how valuable you are by the way you are being treated. It's the other way around. If you see yourself as a valuable person, you treat yourself like one, other people will see, and they will treat you the way you treated yourself. If you think you are worthy of love, you are. Don't let the world tell you otherwise.